Okay, so what we're going to be talking about is linear equations. So the best way to learn this is just let me work out some examples, and we'll start with an equation here is equal to 0. And so the question is, what can I plug in for x right here so that 10 plus x is equal to 0? All right, so one of the rules is we have a constant here, and what we want to do is get rid of this constant. And so what we're going to do is we're going to add, or subtract, I should say. We're going to subtract 10 from both sides. Okay, so what we do on this side of the equation, we must also do over here on this side of the equation. All right. So as you can see here, we have a 10 and then we have minus 10. And so that's going to end up going to 0. And all right, so we'll end up with x is equal to negative 10. All right, so you can always check your work. And probably what I should have done here is we started out with this equation. And so what you can do is you can take your solution, which is negative 10, and go back up into the original and plug it in. And if the left side is equal to the right side, then you know you have the right solution. So let's look at another one. All right, what about x minus 3 is equal to 5? And so what we want to do here is we want to isolate this x. All right, we want to isolate the x. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 3 to both sides of the equation. All right, so what I do over here on the left, I've got to do on the right. Okay, add 3. All right, now look what we got. All right, so we end up with x is equal to, or you could say this if you want, right? Because negative 3 plus 3 ends up being 0, but we're going to go ahead and leave that part off. All right, so we have x is equal to, and of course, as you can see, 5 plus 3 is 8. All right, so 8 is our solution. And if you took 8 and came up, and of course, once again, I should have maybe rewrote it. So remember, we started off with x minus 3 is equal to 5. All right. Well, that needs to be a minus sign there. All right, so what you can do is you can look at your solution, which is 8, plug it in up here, and 8 minus 3 is 5. All right. Okay, let's look at a little bit different one here. All right, what if we had this? 2x is equal to 10. So we want a number, right, that we multiply by 2 and gives us 10. Okay. Let me actually move this up a little bit. All right, so what we'll want to do here is we'll want to, now I'm going to write it like this. If I take a half and I multiply it by 2, all right, rewriting this part right here, is equal to a half. And remember, what we do to the left side, we also got to do to the right side. A half times 2. All right, so a half times 2 is just 1. But I'm going to write 1x just for now. All right, and then a half times 10, a half of a 10 is 5, half of 10. However, you see this coefficient here, which is the one in front of the x. We call that the coefficient. We don't write that. Okay, we go ahead and leave that off. All right. So once again, to check your answer, we take the solution, plug it back into the original equation. As you can see, 2 times 5 is 10. Okay. All right. And of course, that's me with glasses on. I don't know why I have glasses on. Let me take that off. All right. And also, I didn't mean to click on that either. All right. What I'm trying to do here is figure out how to turn this thing off. Let's see. Hide cursor. I'm just now learning this.